Compliance tips for the pharmacist-in-charge. Hello and welcome to the Board's compliance webinar, Compliance Tips for the Pharmacist-in-Charge. In this video, we'll share information and compliance tips for pharmacists that have been designated as the Pharmacist-in-Charge, or PIC, of a Missouri licensed pharmacy. Compliance tip number 1. Notify the Board. Missouri law requires that you notify the Board when you begin serving as pharmacist-in-charge. Once you're designated, you may begin serving as PIC immediately. However, an official PIC change form must be submitted to the Board as soon as possible. Document the mailing date in your records. PIC change applications that are not received in a timely fashion may result in additional Board review. A controlled substance inventory must be done on or before the PIC change that includes all controlled substances, including Schedule 5 over-the-counter pseudoephedrine products. The Board recommends that both the new PIC and the former PIC perform the inventory together if possible to make sure records are accurate. Compliance tip number 2. Know the law. As PIC, you are now responsible for supervising pharmacy staff and making sure that the pharmacy complies with state and federal law. This means you have to know what the law is. Take time to read the Board's rules and statutes, as well as any other state or federal law that might apply to the pharmacy, including state and federal controlled substance laws and any FDA requirements. Rules and statutes may change during the year. Periodically, go back and review the law to make sure you're up to date. Links to the Board's rules and statutes and other pharmacy laws are available on the Board's website. The Board's also published the Missouri Pharmacist Practice Guide, which contains detailed information on Missouri's practice requirements, notes from BNDD, and other inspector tips. The vast majority of questions that the Board office receives are answered in the Practice Guide. Test your knowledge of Missouri law by taking the Board's online Practice Guide quiz, which has been Board approved for 2 pharmacist CE hours. Compliance tip number 3. Be involved. As PIC, you're now personally responsible for supervising pharmacy staff and making sure the pharmacy is in compliance. This means your personal pharmacist license can be disciplined for pharmacy violations as well as the pharmacy's permit. Make sure you're connected and involved. Physically walk through and observe the pharmacy. You may be surprised by what you see or hear. If you find a compliance issue, correct it and retrain pharmacy staff. Be proactive. Don't just forward compliance issues to corporate or to the pharmacy owner and walk away. Staff, this is an area where the Board has expressed concerns. The Board recognizes that some pharmacies have their policies set by a corporate office, or the PIC may not be able to independently make changes at the pharmacy level. However, as PIC, you're responsible for compliance along with the permit holder. Never do anything that places your license at risk. More importantly, never do anything that will put the public at risk. Compliance tip number 4. Know the pharmacy's history. The pharmacy's prior inspection reports will give you a good snapshot of the pharmacy's compliance. Go back and physically review past inspections to identify where the pharmacy's risk areas might be. Make sure that compliance issues have been corrected and update your policies and procedures if necessary. Remember, as PIC, you're responsible for ensuring compliance. Prior inspection reports will identify areas you may need to focus on right away. Compliance tip number 5. Inspect what you expect. Compliance starts before your inspector arrives. Don't wait until your Board inspection to check compliance. Be proactive and analyze the pharmacy's risk areas before an actual inspection. In other words, walk through the pharmacy and inspect for what you're expecting. Several tools are available on the Board's website that can help you inspect the pharmacy's compliance on your own. For example, you can use the Board's inspection checklist to do your own self-inspection of the pharmacy. Another tool is the Missouri Pharmacy Self-Assessment Guide. The Self-Assessment Guide contains a detailed list of major pharmacy compliance requirements and covers a wider range of pharmacy activities. PICs and pharmacy managers can earn up to 2 hours of Board-approved Pharmacist CE by completing and returning the self-assessment verification to the Board. Compliance tip number 6. Check your security. As PIC, you are responsible for making sure that medication is properly stored and secured. This includes complying with all controlled substance security requirements. Remember, Schedule II drugs must be stored in a locked safe or cabinet at all times. Don't leave keys in the lock or place keys, passwords, in a location that's accessible to all pharmacy staff. To prevent diversion, the board recommends regularly reconciling your controlled substance inventory in addition to your required annual inventory. While reconciling your controlled substance inventory isn't required, it can help you detect diversion quickly. Focus on the most commonly diverted controlled substances, such as hydrocodone, oxycodone, and look for abnormal trends or changes. Additional tools on how to prevent diversion and how to reconcile your inventory are available on the board's website, along with a sample reconciliation form. The board has also published an Inspector Tips for Preventing Diversion brochure that's available online. Compliance tip number 7. Check your staffing levels. Missouri law doesn't mandate how many pharmacists or technicians have to be in a pharmacy. However, inadequate staffing could place patients at risk. Make sure you have sufficient staff to safely handle the pharmacy's volume. Think about other services the pharmacy provides. If you're immunizing, the pharmacy may need additional staff during busy times, like flu season. Serious mistakes can happen when the pharmacy doesn't have enough staff to operate properly and safely. Compliance tip number 8. Check license status. As PIC, you're responsible for making sure the pharmacy and pharmacy staff are appropriately licensed. Check the pharmacy's permit to make sure it lists the correct permit classifications. For individuals, license status may change throughout the year. Periodically check licenses and registrations to make sure they're current. This is particularly important for pharmacy technicians. The board publishes 3 disciplinary suspension lists that can affect technician status. 1. The HB 600 Tax Suspension List. This list includes the names of licensees who have been suspended from working by the Missouri Department of Revenue for tax compliance and is updated frequently. Technicians on the HB 600 list cannot work. Pharmacists and intern pharmacists may be added to this list throughout the year as well. 2. The Employment Disqualification List, or EDL. The EDL list includes technicians who have been officially disciplined by the board. Technicians on the EDL are not eligible to work, even if an appeal has been filed. 3. The Conditional Registration List. This list includes technicians who have been issued a conditional registration, which is similar to probation. Technicians on the Conditional Registration List are eligible to work, subject to the restrictions printed on his or her registration. Sign up online for the board's e-alerts to receive electronic updates when a technician is disciplined or suspended. Compliance tip number 9. Train, train, train. Compliance starts with a trained and educated workforce. Training should be an ongoing and continuous process. Retrain staff when you have significant process changes, like installing new equipment or changing pharmacy services, and whenever new statutes or rules are enacted that might impact pharmacy services. During your training, go through your policies and procedures to make sure staff members know what they're required to do. Even the best policies and procedures are useless if no one knows what they are. Ask staff members to also review the Pharmacist Practice Guide and take the Practice Guide quiz. For technicians, the board's published a Missouri Pharmacist Technician Guide, which contains basic compliance information for pharmacy technicians. Use the guide to train pharmacy staff and then test their knowledge with the board's free online pharmacy technician quiz. Compliance tip number 10. It's all about the patient. Taking care of patients has to be your pharmacy's primary focus. Medication errors continue to be one of the major causes of patient harm and deaths. What you do can change lives. Slow down and remember the patient should always be first. The Institute for Safe Medication Practices, or ISMP, has published a number of free resources that can help increase patient safety in your pharmacy, such as the ISMP list of confused drug names, a list of error-proof abbreviations, symbols, and dose designations, and a medication safety self-assessment for community ambulatory pharmacy. Use these free resources to increase compliance. Protecting patients is the most important job you have. Compliance tip number 11. Ask your inspector. Board inspectors do more than just inspect and investigate. They also can be a valuable resource. Feel free to contact your inspector and ask questions, especially if you're changing pharmacy services or engaging in a new area of practice. Ask questions during your inspection. Of course, the board can't provide legal advice, but we'll be glad to provide any assistance that we can. Compliance tip number 12. Remember, you're the pharmacist. Technology has truly revolutionized pharmacy practice. While technology can be helpful, it can never replace the professional judgment of a pharmacist. Remember, you're the pharmacist, and the public's relying on your expertise, accuracy, and judgment. Computers and technology can help, but don't retire your clinical skills. Compliance tip number 13. Sign up for the board's newsletters and e-alerts. Once again, the board publishes a quarterly newsletter and also sends out regular e-alerts that include compliance updates and other regulatory information. The board also uses e-alerts to notify licensees when new pharmacy technicians have been suspended or disciplined and cannot work. You can sign up for the board's newsletters and e-alerts online. Thank you for reviewing this video. Remember, as PIC, compliance is now your responsibility. Visit the board's website for additional compliance tools that can help you keep patients safe and keep your pharmacy in compliance.